Told you I'd be talking about the whole PTSD thing. Yeah, my dad had it, and I talked about some of the things he went through. Most of these guys, like, lost somebody in their unit. Okay, right, fine. What I have to tell you, though, is my dad was a fighter pilot, and they came home, and, like, the worst thing that could ever happen to you had happened to them. They just, like, died. So what did they do? They drank a toast in their honor. They threw the glasses in the fireplace, and then they divvied up their belongings because you had to, like, get over it, right? Now, I've been trying to figure out what this PTSD thing is about because everything I've heard about, all of them, the source of all their pain, my dad went through all of it, and yeah, he had PTSD, what they call PTSD now. So there was a time when he was like later on in business, and he was on a DC-3, which is the same thing as a C-47, right? Okay, which they used to, like, get ferried all over the world, and he could hear that the engines weren't right, and he insisted. He stopped the plane from taking off. He said, "I have to get off this plane," because he could hear that there was something wrong with the engines, right? He had nightmares. And his nightmares were about the worst of all things because he had seen the worst of all things, which is cockpit fires. So he would wake up screaming in the night because his plane was on fire and, and it was going to, like, kill him. And then, well, there was one other weird incident too. He was in the middle of the country, and he narrowly missed a head-on collision with some car that went shooting through a stop sign. And then they went, my mother was with him, and they went to continue, and the car wouldn't go. He had turned the key off because he was trying to prevent a cockpit fire. But my dad went on, and he got a whole new life. Yeah, he came back. He flunked out of his. No, he left. He didn't flunk out. He actually he left because he couldn't do it anymore. And he started over. He just did. And he got nominated for a Lifetime Achievement Award by the American Chemical Engineering Society, even though he didn't actually get his degree in chemical engineering. It's like he just went on and did what he had to do. So now the question is, what was different about those World War II guys versus all these, what they say, like a third of those returning from Afghanistan and Iraq have PTSD. Well, in my dad's day, they called it combat fatigue, and it's like you got over it. I'd like to think now for a little bit about what it is that causes the difference between, like, those World War II guys and the contemporary guys.